going to intervene and ask Treasury
No,
Secretary
I think they're the
Mnuchin
same
to-
thing. I mean, bringing people back to health and protecting people's jobs. To me, and I'm okay at this stuff, that's the same thing. I'm in a much different position as president than if I were an investor or something. But I want to bring them back to health because I want to preserve their jobs. But I also want to preserve airlines because that's preserving lots of other jobs. That's preserving the travel and leisure industry, which is perhaps the largest industry in our country if you add it all up. You add up all the hotels and all the traveling and all the planes and everything else, probably by far the largest industry in our country. So saving the airlines is very important. And the airlines are all doing well. The airlines were doing record business a month before this today, let's say. Even 22 days to be exact, right? When we first started seeing some real signs of problems. They were at record levels. Last year they had a record year, the biggest in the history of the airlines. Everybody was doing well. I mean, I was presiding over the most successful economy in the history of the world. And now we're going to have to rebuild it. And I think we're going to have an absolute incredible fourth quarter. Maybe it's slightly after that, to be honest. But it's going to be in that time period. As soon as we get rid of this, I think we're going to have an explosion upward. It's going to be incredible.
Mr. President, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has issued some of the fewest restrictions in the country, yet Florida has the highest percentage of elderly in the country.
That's true.
Do you believe Governor DeSantis is handling this well?
I do, because he's a very talented guy. He's a very good governor. Everyone loves him. He's doing a fantastic job for Florida. He was not happy with the people coming down from New York. They're flying down from New York, and he had a state and has a state with, obviously a lot less problems. Florida's been doing really well in the sense of testing. The testing has shown much better results. They'll talk to you about that later. But no, he was very unhappy with the people coming down from New York, and I understand that. No, Ron's a very tough guy. He's a great governor, and I have tremendous confidence in him. And, he had the beach situation. He resolved that. He will get it all resolved. Yeah, please.
I have two questions, Mr. President. First, yesterday in your letter to the governors, you said that you want to categorize certain counties of high risk, medium risk, and low risk. Practically speaking, how are you going to enforce that? How can you stop people from
You have to go
risk,
louder.
for example?
You have to speak louder.
Sorry. How are you going to stop people from going from high risk areas to low risk areas? In your letters to the governors.
We have some very, very strong restrictions, but you're right. I don't like it. So we're seeing how it works. The data is coming in on Monday and Tuesday, and we're going to see how it looks. But, can we go to a tougher level? We can, but that causes other problems. We're going to see, and we'll be reporting back very shortly after my meetings with Tony, Deborah, and others that we're going to be meeting, and our vice president. We're going to be reporting back to the media. Okay? Please, corner. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. President. Owen Jensen with EWTN News.
Yes.
Millions of school kids across the country are at home, including my own, bored, restless, learning a little bit online, but it's better in the classroom. You know that.
Yeah.
And my kids, they want to crawl on the walls and climb on the walls, and my wife is about to lose it, right? So many of them are watching right now. What would you say to those kids right now, elementary school, middle school, high school? What would you tell them right now who are watching from home?
I would say that you are a citizen of the greatest country anywhere in the world. And we were attacked like nothing that's happened possibly since 1917, many, many years ago. We were attacked. And we're winning the battle, and we're going to win the war, and it's not going to take, hopefully, that much longer. But we have to win the war. And I would say that they have a duty to sit back, watch, behave, wash their hands, stay in the apartment with mom and dad. They look like they're lucky to have you as a father. And just learn from it. But, the young people have been tremendous. Some of them are very happy not to go to school. You understand that? Perhaps yours, perhaps not. But we have literally had no problem. But again, they should just sit back and be very proud of our country because we're doing it for them. Ultimately, we're doing it for them more than anything else, if you think about it. The other thing that's nice, and the one thing that has come out, and I learned this, again, it was reaffirmed by President Xi last night in my conversation, the young people are really, it's an incredible phenomenon, but they are attacked, successfully attacked, to a much lesser extent by this pandemic, by this disease.
By this
whatever they
bioweapon.
want to call it germ, you can call it a flu, you can call it
A
virus, you can call it many
bioweapon,
different names. I'm
an
not
act
sure
of
anybody
war.
knows what it is. But the children do very well. It's almost the younger they are, the better they do. I guess the immune system is, sadly for some of us, their immune system is stronger. But actually, I'm very happy about that. But they have been attacked, for instance, the Spanish flu. And if you look at the H1N1, the swine, if you take a look at the swine flu, which was, as you know, not so long ago, that attacked very strongly young children, kids, middle-aged people, everyone. Age is a factor here, so your children should be in good shape. But just tell them to be very proud of the country, okay?
Just to follow up real quickly, when does the risk become an acceptable one to allow people to go back to their lives? Maybe
Well,
not
we're
to
going to make that
function.
determination. And you're going to have something to do with that. And look, we're going to be guided also. You have some real strong feelings. The media, I'll tell you what, the media generally, I mean, I'm impressed. A lot of the media has been fair. I'm not used to fair treatment in the media. I don't know. I don't know how to handle it. But the media has really been, overall, I think the media has been pretty fair. Some not. I mean, I could tell you who, but what's the point? But the media has really been fair. I mean, they view this as we're all in a problem together and we're going to win. We're going to win. Please.
Yes, thank you, President Trump. New York is currently the epicenter of the outbreak in the U.S. with about half of the cases.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Kellyanne Conway laid a lot of the blame for that on the mayor, pointing out that he told people to go about life as normal and he resisted closing schools and businesses. I'm wondering if you agree, and also if I could ask you your thoughts on the stimulus bill preventing aid to your businesses. Do you think that's fair, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's not happening. I mean, I think they wrote us out, and that's all right. But that's not happening. As far as the mayor of New York, I'll be honest, I didn't know him well. He and I are obviously opposite persuasions, and we would go at it, but we didn't, I don't know if we ever spoke other than to maybe say hello a couple of times. I did down at the Memorial, World Trade Center Memorial once a long time ago. So I've spoken to him a lot, Mayor de Blasio, and we've really had incredibly productive discussions. I've gotten him a lot of people. We've gotten him a medical center. He's asked for, at Elmhurst, I know Elmhurst Hospital very well. I mean, that was an area of Queens that I grew up in. And boy, you talk about an epicenter. That's really the epicenter of the epicenter. That's really something. We talked about it because I was, very close to where I grew up. And knowing it, being so familiar with it, it's incredible to see where they have the trucks. I don't have to go into great detail. The refrigerated trucks coming up, and I've never seen anything like it. I've spoken with Mayor de Blasio a lot.
Watch this guy.
Week.
This is almost humorous. Watch this guy's face.
And I've really gotten to like him. I get along with him very well. Now, he wants us to do certain things, and we've produced. I mean, today I spoke to him with the Secretary of Defense, Esper, and we had a great conversation, and we're helping him get some of the things he needs. I don't have to go into great detail, but he's very happy about what we were able to do for him today. And he's like us. He's working very hard. But I can't say anything bad about Mayor de Blasio. I mean, my relationship with him over the last couple of weeks has been excellent, and we've done a good job for him too.
From the governors,
Please.
There's been a lot of talk about ventilators and PPE and that kind of thing, but what about hospital capacity? And are you, prepared for the stories
So
that
we're
are
doing
going to
that. Great
come?
question. We're increasing capacities. Right. We're actually adding on through the Army Corps of Engineers. This is a big job, and we're doing it in many states, not just New York and California. By the way, Gavin Newsom's been terrific. I have to tell you, the governor of California, we're getting along really well. We're working hard for him. As you know, the hospital ship, the other hospital ship, and they are incredible, that just arrived in Los Angeles, fully stocked. But Gavin Newsom has been really good, and so many of the governors have been good. And these are governors that I've been fighting with about different things for a long time, the forest fires in his case, and the border, and all sorts of things. And here we are, getting along very well. So, and I appreciate his nice words. I really do. I really appreciate it. And the people with me appreciate it. You have another question?
Well, I was gonna say, on the issue of hospital capacity
Yeah.
and beds and
So,
being able to
yeah,
treat
good-
people and
good
not
question.
have them die because they can't have a hospital.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we just started this, we were just notified, and some of the governors have asked us to build hospitals through extensions, through portable hospitals, through things, and, normally this, in all fairness, this is done normally through local government. We don't go into cities and expand a hospital that's existing, but we're doing it now because we really are equipped to do it. We have incredible people, and we're expanding hospitals. We're building many portable hospitals, not only Javits Center, where you have 4, plus you have 4 medical centers, but we're doing it in New Jersey, Governor Murphy. We're doing it in other states. We're doing it in California. We're doing some in the state of Washington, despite the fact that I'm not appreciative of the way the governor speaks. We're doing it in a lot of different locations, and we're doing a lot of expansions. We're also taking over buildings, and the city will go in, or the state usually will go in, take over a building, and we go in and equip it and make it so that it's now hospital functioning. They call it hospital functioning. We're doing a lot of that. Again, this is normally done by governors and then give it to the city to do. Here you bring it into the point. But we're doing a lot of that, and they're doing a great job. Mostly done by the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA.
A couple questions on those governors. You and your team obviously have had classified briefings on the pandemic, I assume, for a while now. Were the governors included in those briefings that you would have got in January and February? When did you warn the governors, as you would have had the information first?
Yeah, well, they say I had classified briefings a long time ago, which wasn't true. But we've had briefings, and as I know it, the governors have also had many briefings by the federal
I guess, to
government.
tell them this thing was coming. This was a...
Oh, I think we knew for a while, but if you take a look, I was the first one to say it to China, and I have great respect for China, I will tell you that, but I was the first one when they had the problem to say you can't come in, and if you go back, that's a long time ago.
So if I can follow up.
Mr. President, on this question of ventilators, I understand you have a question whether or not New York needs as much as they want. Governor Cuomo is saying 21 days from
Here's what we're
now.
gonna have, you ready? We're gonna have more than, we're manufacturing a lot of them now. We're accumulating a lot. We're taking a lot through the act. We're taking a lot. We're actually taking them. And we're gonna have, in a very short period of time, and Peter's doing it along with some very talented people, some really talented people. It's very impressive, actually. But we're actually taking a lot. We're gonna have plenty. And if for some reason, Jen, you're going to need even more, we're gonna be prepared. As an example, we've given out thousands and thousands, which I think you'll know. We accumulated thousands, we give them out. But we right now, I think in the stockpile, we have over 10,000. The reason we don't want to distribute that is for exactly what you're saying. If there's a mad rush in New York, or maybe in Louisiana, or maybe someplace else, we don't want to have given out all of those units, the ventilators, and then in those sections, we give them to Iowa, but they didn't have a problem in Iowa. We give them to Idaho. We give them to lots of different places, and now we have to try and get them back, which is never easy to do.
Here's my
No,
question.
no, John, what I'm saying is this. We are prepared for things that nobody has any idea that we'd be prepared. And you know what? When I took this over, it was an empty box. We didn't have testing. We didn't have anything. We had a broken system there. We had a broken system with stockpiling. We had a lot of broken systems. And I'm not just blaming President Obama. You go long before that. But in all fairness to all of the former presidents, none of them ever thought a thing like this could happen. But we have right now 10,000 ventilators in stockpile. We are ready to go with those ventilators. What we don't want is where we distribute the ventilators like we did in New York, where they didn't need them, or they didn't know, or they didn't use them. If we need them in New York, we're gonna have plenty. Now, we're getting a lot of ventilators in the next short period of time. A lot of ventilators are coming in the next short period of time. We're manufacturing. We went to all of the companies. I read their names. We went to all of those companies, They are going to go, I would say, round the clock, Peter. Is that right? They're going round the clock.
Is 100 days fast enough, like you said, is that fast enough to get 100,000? Because some of these
Let's
people
put it
need
this
3
way.
weeks.
Let's put it this way. We've distributed thousands and thousands already. Normally, these would be bought by states, just so you understand. Normally, these would be bought by governors. They were, I don't want to say unprepared, but nobody was prepared for this. What we've done, nobody can even imagine. And by the way, I've had governors tell me, including Democrat governors, they said, we can't believe you've been able to do this. And you go to other countries, and we're not only competing against states, because we don't want to compete against states. We've had a couple of cases where states were buying, we were buying, and I said specifically, because I heard about it, pull back, let the state buy it. Immediately the price goes way down and they end up buying it. But we're also competing against many countries because many countries need the ventilators. That's why I want to build more if possible. John, maybe we'll take one more question.
The question I was building up to is, are you able to guarantee, to assure these states, these hospitals, that everybody who needs a ventilator will get a ventilator?
So here's what I'll tell you. I think we're in really good shape. This is a pandemic, the likes of which nobody's seen before. I think we're in great shape. I think that, number one, we've distributed, ventilators is a big deal. We've distributed vast numbers of ventilators, and we're prepared to do vast numbers. I think we're in great shape. I hope that's the case. I hope that we're going to have leftovers so we can help other people, other countries.
Everybody who needs one will be able to get a ventilator.
Look, don't be a cutie pie, okay? You know, nobody's ever done what we've done. Nobody's done anything like we've done.
Don't be a cutie
And
pie.
everything I took over was a mess. It was a broken country in so many ways. In so many ways other than this. We had a bad testing system. We had a bad stockpile system. We had nothing in the stockpile system. So I wouldn't tell me what like being a wise guy. Go ahead.
Mr. President, you signed a bill today the size of which could choke an entire herd of horses. And before you even had a chance to put pen to paper, people were already talking about the need for phase 4.
Yeah.
Do you see a need for phase 4, and where do you think the priorities
Well,
would lie?
there may be something where we're going to have to help states because the states have been hurt very badly. And the beautiful thing about our country is 6.2 trillion, because it is 2.2 plus 4. It's $6.2 trillion.
Oh my God!
And we can handle that easily because of who we are, what we are. It's our money. We are the ones. It's our currency. We can handle it, and we can handle. I watched Jerome Powell the other day, and he did a good job. He said, "We'll do whatever we have to do." John, we have to do whatever we have to do.
Where do you see the priorities being?
The priority is life and safety, and then the economy. Life and safety.
The Easter goal stick. It seems like earlier in the week you said we love Easter, but now it seems like it
We'll
could
see.
be longer.
A lot of things
We're
can.
heading into a long weekend.
Yeah.
What do you tell those folks who think they're gonna have to wait this out for a while?
I tell them if it's your life, then it's your safety. And if we need more time, they're not going to have a problem waiting it out. It's life, it's safety, and it's our country. But we have to take care of people. At the same time, we want to get them out. They want to get out. Our country was built on that. But we have to make sure it's safe, and everyone knows that. Okay, one more question, please.
Has your thinking changed over the last 30 days? Thank you.
Go ahead.
Both the World Health Organization as recently as today and your own health officials have said that any treatments that we use for coronavirus should be scientifically demonstrated to be effective. But at the same time, you've said that chloroquine, as an example, could be used as a cure.
Plaquenil.
So, is the WHO and your health officials wrong on this point? Are they?
So hydroxychloroquine, which is supposed to be the better of the two, seems to have some good backing. We're going to see. Look, Governor Cuomo, we've given him 10,000 units. It's a lot. And they're testing it. It's a malaria drug. It's also a drug for arthritis. But it's phenomenal for those two things, as you probably know, especially for malaria. But we're going to find out soon. I hope it works. There are signs that it could be doing well. They are testing 10,000 units. It's a lot. And I tell you what, I want to thank the FDA because they approved it immediately. Based on the fact that it was already out for a different purpose, they approved it immediately. So, look, hydroxychloroquine is a very powerful drug for certain things. And it's a very successful drug. there's reason to believe that it could be successful here. Now, the reason I disagree with you, and I think Tony would disagree with me, but the reason I disagree with you is that we have a pandemic. We have people dying now. If we're going to go into labs and test all of this for a long time, we can test it on people right now who are in serious trouble, who are dying. If it works, we've done a great thing. If it doesn't work, you know, we tried. But this is not something that's going to kill people. So we can go in and we can test and we can take our time. When I was with the FDA, you know, they indicated that, well, we'll start working on it right away and it could take a year. I said, what do you mean a year? We have to have it tonight. If we don't have it tonight, I want to test it immediately because it's on the market in a different form.
Yep.
So we know that. So
Good
from
point.
a safety standpoint, at least we know that. But you're talking about giving it to people who in many cases are dying. So we want to do it the way. This is sort of like right to try. We got right to
Yes.
try.
I agree
For
with this
40
part,
jobs for
guys,
44
100%.
years or more, they couldn't get it approved. We have the best labs, the best doctors, they couldn't get it, I got it approved. Now if somebody's terminally ill, and if we think we have something that's going to work, we can actually use it. They can use it. And I'll tell you what, you ought to do, when this is over, you got to do a story on that, because we have had some tremendous results.
Before you go, could I ask you something that just popped on Wall Street Journal? It says, headline, the Trump administration plans to suspend the collection of import tariffs for 3 months, according to administration officials. True or not true?
It's not even talk to me about, just more fake news, John. Look, not even talk to me. They're talking about, the only one I've heard that from, like as an example, China pays 25% interest on $250 billion worth of product that they send in. That's a lot. Everybody keeps saying, oh, are you going to suspend the tariffs? Well, the answer is no, but President Xi never even brought it up last night. It wasn't even discussed. It's fake news. Tell the Wall Street Journal. You know, the Wall Street Journal does a lot of fake news too. It's pretty amazing. So I want to leave you by just saying I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank the American public and all of the people that have helped so much. And we're going to give the podium to Vice President Pence, who has been incredible. And if he's tired and if he's not answering questions like he should, we have a great reason, because he hasn't slept in about 4 weeks. But I want to thank him because...
Okay. Here we go, guys. First of all, the really, really important thing today is that, do you see this sexy hat? Yes, we have time for this. This sexy hat, look what it says on the back. And yes, Nancy out of California, you are awesome. Thank you for the hat. I will wear it with honor, and hopefully I will serve you guys well, and I will have earned it. But I do appreciate gifts, guys. It's really made my day. Yesterday it came in the mail. I was just like, it was Christmas for me. So you made my day, and all you other people that watch make my day by just tuning in. So with that, we've already spent an hour. One quick point. Whoever hands Trump his coffee, no more triple mochas before he gets to the podium. I mean, I have watched a lot of things by Trump, but oh my God, this is the continuation. So we did miss a little at the first. Wasn't much. Believe me, he covered everything and more over and over and over. So I'm not going to keep you a long time. I'm going to do a speed run through this. Then we're going to do another video later. And with that being said, China's not our friend. And that's the part that griped me about the president about this, is the friendly little we're buddies and we're not. And excuse me. I got to eat my lunch. That's how long it was. I know, eating again. But yeah, I got to eat my whole lunch, and my dog was like going, oh, come on, get done, so that, you know, usually she gets more to eat, but I got to actually eat most of my meal this time, so she was kind of left out and bummed. Enough about the dog. But you got to have a little humor, especially if you spend an hour already watching this. So yeah, I keep putting to you that this thing's a bioweapon, and this is biowarfare. I think in the end, we may not be able to prove that. I think they're going to try to hide it. I think they're going to, like they've been doing, everybody's trying to point the finger back this way. China's bottom line is not our friend. I think China is equal, other than nukes, as dangerous as Russia. Don't kid yourself. If you go back and review things, you can go out there and review it yourself. Especially right now, China's in a really strong position. I don't trust them as far as I could throw a cow. Okay. Real quick on the money. I've made my points clear. Still on the money. It's it's very unclear whether we'll see a penny. The people that I've discussed, the people who need it equally as much as the other people, let's just say all for one. I'm going to let that go at that for today. The ventilators and stuff and GM, you know what? We bailed them out. We gave them money. And what do? They try to screw us at a time of need. That's what gripes my ass. Is companies and other countries screwing us at our time of need, or if we ask them for something, but we're supposed to just hand out the checks. And where are we handing out the checks now? I guarantee you GM and those guys are going to get a check already. Okay? Airlines. You know what? What do they give us? Did you get a free flight ticket in your whole life? Or 50% off? No, I don't think so. So again, if they can't make it, they need to go down. Now, as far as the American people owning a piece of that, is that the American people or government? I mean, if the American people, I want my little certificate that says I own 1/10 of 1% mailed to me, and to you guys. That's how that crap should go down. They danced around about Wall Street this and Wall Street that. And he's bringing in the Wall Street goons to distribute the monies. Which means fat cat payments. Big time. And then they had the nerve to talk about phase 4, more money. This thing was supposed to be 1 trillion, went to 2 trillion, went to 2.2 trillion, with another 4 trillion for the financial department of the government. 6.2 trillion. It's never going to get paid off, guys. And your taxes for people that work are going to pay big time. I had one of my friends run the numbers on that, and I'm not even going to scare you guys. We're in enough of a crisis, but let's just say that while the fat cats get fatter off of this, the poor's going to get poorer. And back to my point with Nancy Pelosi's famous crumbs. It's all just crumbs. Well, you know what? We were supposed to get a little bit of crumbs because, that's all we ever get. And now in this time of need, they're not even going to hand out proper crumbs. Well, I don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not appreciative. It's when you look at the numbers and we all know. I mean, what little bit the American people got out of that? I mean, what kind of crap is that? That's like millions. It's not even, I don't even think it's 1 billion. I'm serious. I know it's not 1 billion. Okay? But let's just say it's 1 billion. Out of trillions, we're going to argue for 1 stinking billion, even if, let's say 2 billion for the American people, including the people I listed, the ones that look like are going to get screwed. You've got to be kidding me. Again, not that I'm appreciative and whatever, but damn, I'm tired of getting screwed. And I think you guys, by the way, Team 99, we are awesome. You guys are doing so well out there, man. I've gotten some emails. Everybody's ahead of the curve. I guess next statement real quick is this thing about 2 weeks. We already know the 2-week thing ain't going to happen, period. We've had more outbreaks. I've tried to cover some in the last couple days. Sorry it was slow last night. By the time I got done running in town, spent some time with my kid and other things, I was tired, guys. I tried to rest for a while, but I'm back on it today. I do have a couple projects outside to do, unfortunately, and then I'll be back in here doing this. So I think I'm going to let you go. It's been an hour at least, which is ridiculous. It's going to take me 2 hours at least to upload this dang thing. If our internet, by the way, internet's been like, that's been another problem, is I have tried to load some things and we've had internet. Oh, that one, we had internet and computer problems. So I had to use a little laptop thing to do those 2 videos. And then in the middle of it, the power went out. I was like, what's next? So apologize for sound quality. Apologize for the video quality. When I do those little shoots, it's just because I feel it's something that needs to get out. And I could wait hours and get you a better quality video. But sometimes to get you guys the news right away, I think it's more important to sacrifice a little of the sound and a little of the quality. I hope you agree. Again, Nancy of California, thank you very much. I am still stoked. It's just kind of really nice that people, I know you guys love me, and just tuning in is more than enough. And that's not why I put the sign up to get things or money. I'm not even going to ask today. Sometimes there's a little thing in the corner that comes up, and if we leave it, they pull our videos and shut them down. Some kind of copyright thing. It's really weird. So thank you guys. God bless you. And what's that statement from? I'll be back, because healthcare sucks. We'll be back to bring you more news and stuff. Things are just going fast. So please stay safe. If you go out in public, prepare yourself. After I went out, I came home, bagged up my stuff, put it in the washer, threw the bag in the garbage, guys. Literally. Sprayed myself with alcohol in between on my hands and in my face, and jumped in the shower. I mean, so it sounds paranoid almost, but it's not. Here in Lincoln City, Oregon now, we've known about cases. I've told you that the hospital I have an inside says they've seen cases that were not pronounced for a long time now going on. But they actually came out and said Lincoln County has its first. That's the problem with the numbers, is the BS over the numbers. And that kind of annoys me. And I don't think you guys are stupid enough. I don't think, actually, maybe 75% of America is not stupid enough to think those numbers are real. So again, love you. Stay safe. Healthcare sucks. And I'm out for now.